Thanks to everyone who have subscribed. If you have not, please do. And thanks for coming out here. I really appreciate you. Reconciliation meeting. APC wants Governor Obaseki to drop his deputy, Philip Shaibu. Meeting to reconcile the members of All Progressive Congress, APC, in Edo State has commenced, with leaders given conditions to Governor Godwin Obaseki to fulfill. The conditions are that the governor must drop his deputy, Philip Shaibu, the secretary to the state government, Osaredion Ogwa, and his chief of staff, Taiwo Akinyele. Sources close to the APC reveals that the leaders want all the conditions fulfilled before the primaries of the incumbent is to be considered for a second tenure. The leader of the APC have set out conditions for Obaseki. It is now left for him to fulfill them. We know at the end of the day, he may say, I won't do it, but thank God, the national headquarters would control the primaries. The committee to conduct the primaries will be set up in Abuja, he emphasized. The other conditions the APC leader said Obaseki must fulfill is to reinaugurate Edo State House of Assembly to include the excluded 14 members. Everything is in the hand of Obaseki. So if he wants the crisis to end, he would accept our conditions, the APC official told us. Governor Godwin Obaseki has been given very serious terms for him to be able to be re-elected as governor in Edo State for the second tenure. Godwin Obaseki is one of the governors who is about to make history in Nigeria. We know the history. We know Nigeria with the godfatherism thing. And Godwin Obaseki is setting a precedence. And if by God's grace he goes through, will become a roadmap and a direction for others to follow. Those in Edo State, please, it would be nice for you guys to lend your voice and to support Godwin Obaseki in this noble quest. We know what happened in Lagos State when the governor failed to adhere to what Tinubu wanted. He did not live to see second. He lived, what I mean is, he did not continue a second tenure in office. So that has put fear in the heart of everyone who wants to go for governorship position in Lagos State as long as Tinubu lives. So Tinubu has become a godfather in Lagos State. If he doesn't approve of you, one man, and they say the vote of the people, I believe that one man has one vote, and that is what she should be, theoretically. But in reality in Nigeria, that is not what it is. No, that's not what it is. In fact, one man's vote counts more than a whole village, a whole people, because of what Nigeria has turned her political arena into. It has become a fight of the Goliath, a fierce battle. But this is not all to be if you and I really support and lend our voices. You could hear the reports of APC representative telling him that the APC primaries will be conducted and constituted from Abuja. So how do you think your vote will really count? That means if he does not fulfill these criteria, even if he wins, APC is telling you that, I'm inferring from his statement that he's been given the choice. Let him make it. After all, the primaries will be decided from Abuja. Oh, I'm really sad to hear this, yeah? I'm really sad because it's supposed to be a free, fair election. So these are very hard conditions being given. Don't forget that Philip Shaibu, who is the deputy to Obaseki will feel betrayed because Phyllis Shaibu has been strongly behind Obaseki. He has been part of his rock. When you are in a government and you are standing against such kind of strong forces, and you have somebody to stand alongside with you and to say, boss, you're doing well. We'll fight this godfatherism together and bring it to an end in Edo State. So Phyllis Shaibu has been one of those people who has really stood by Obaseki and has given him the courage because constant battle can make one very weary and very tired, and at some point you might not really find your feet or know where you stand. But Phyllis Shaibu has been, has stood with him. Don't forget that Phyllis Shaibu is also one of the critics of Oshomole, and as such, permit me to say, Shomole does not like him as well. And so they want to prove to Philip Shaibu that your boss will drop you and you have nothing else to say, nothing else to do, because you'll be dropped like a bag of salt. Um, we are human beings. Philip Shaibu will feel betrayed, and it will make Baseki's second tenure very challenging and very stiff. They've also given him the mandate to reinstate the 14 excluded House of Rep members, his chief of staff and his secretary. Remember that to any government, whether the governor or the president, these people are very key. Your vice, your chief of staff, and your secretary. These are people you commune with. So they want to surround him with total strangers, people who are not totally loyal to him, who will stand constantly to criticize him. Criticizing is not bad in itself. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not scared of him or worried that he will constantly be criticized if he accepts to their terms. But the fact that every move, even good that he wants to do for the state, will all be questioned and they might not. By the time this 14 people are reinstated in the House of Rep, everything he has to do will have to go through the House. And if they don't approve it, he will not be able to carry out effective change as he wants to do to the people of Edo State. And as such, will make him a mockery to the people of Edo State because they will no longer see him as someone who wants to stand by them, stand for them, and that is doing something good. But they will not totally get the total picture of that. He's carrying out some of these activities and legislation depends also on the support of the government. The government is not just the president. It does not have an absolute right, although in Nigeria, sorry, a different story. Also, the governor does not have an absolute right. He needs to consult with some people. So what they're actually doing to Obaseki is to disarm him, to make him, very volatile, very vulnerable. They are putting him in a position, very tight corner, a very tight squeeze. And, you know, it's really sad because this man, I don't really know of all his achievements in Ondo State totally, completely. I'm not totally privy to that. But for the fact that I'm just holding on to this one straw that is fighting something which has eaten, that become an epidemic in the political arena in Nigeria, an epidemic that we can even see live happened in Lagos not less than 2 3 years ago. This is so recent. It goes to show you that he's fighting this thing to stop. And if Edo State can start it, it can start a precedent where other people can begin to take a key from it to say, Shomole was a very strong person who was a right-hand man, the hand of the president. He was with Buhari, and in fact, they dined together, they talked together, and with that position, the governor of the state could fight him hands down and say, you know what, I don't have to do your bidding, I don't have to listen to you to be able to govern the people. Everybody has what they want to do for the people. I have a mandate and I want to fulfill it. If that can really happen, it will set a good precedent in the country. So people of Edo State, you are there firsthand. Please don't forget to leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. Let me hear your thoughts on what you think about this matter. Obaseki is really fighting hard and trying to fight against godfatherism to make sure that this stop in Edo State. Obaseki is really fighting hard and trying to make sure that the people of Edo State. So, so this is what it really is. I would like to get your thoughts on this matter. APC has given Obaseki very stiff and tight conditions to be able to get the second tenor in Edo State. It kind of seemed like it's out of your hands, people of Edo State, if I'll be really honest. Let me hear your thoughts because, APC have said that they are the ones that are the determinants from Abuja. Like the primaries will not take place in Edo State. I don't really get it. It's a bit confusing. Please, my guys, support Apple Line Media by liking, sharing, subscribing, clicking on the notification button so you can get all our latest news. God bless. Don't forget to leave a comment. Bye.